this video is just to show you how to work out the break-even output, how a company can work out the output needed to break even. That means they're not going to make a profit, but they're not going to make a loss. Profit will be exactly zero. So we have the same example as before for the profit calculation one, where we had the pizza takeaway with a price per meal of £4, that's revenue per unit, variable cost of £1.20, and we were going with an output of 2,000. Fixed cost there of £2,000 as well. Now, for a break-even calculation, what we need to know is the contribution per unit. Now, the contribution per unit is the sort of amount of money you make on the sale of a product, in this case the meal, before you just after you deduct like the direct costs or the variable costs involved in the production of that output, the meal in this case. So it's the £4 that we're charging for the meal minus the £1.20, the cost of the materials used in the meal. That would be the contribution. And then of course you've got your other expenses, i.e. the overheads or the fixed cost, this £2,000, which would have to come off then afterwards. You think of it like a restaurant where you go in, you pay £10 for a meal, and you work out whether the food on my plate is probably only worth about £3 if I'd have bought the things myself. The company's not making a profit of £7 on that meal, they're just making a contribution of £7 because of course they still got to pay all their other expenses, their fixed costs or overheads, their rent, wages, electric, etc. Okay, so contribution per unit is revenue per unit minus variable cost per unit. So revenue £4 minus the variable cost £1.20. So we just do a little calculation there. £4 minus the £1.20 variable cost. Press enter. £2.80 is the contribution per unit. And our break-even calculation is fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. You find this in your handout in the terminology bit. But if we think about it, fixed costs, this £2,000, we've got to make enough £2.80s. Every time we sell a meal, we're left with £2.80 after we pay the raw materials. We've got to make enough £2.80s to cover the 2,000. So how many £2.80 in 2,000? So that's 2,000 divided by £2.80. Do that calculation here, plus £2,000 divided by £2.80, the contribution per unit, and we need a break-even output there of 714 units. So if we manage to produce 714 pizzas, we will break even. We won't make a profit and we won't make a loss. And that's a good guide for a company. That gives them sort of the bottom line of their output. They need to sell us at least that many to break even, and you can then do sort of a little bit of looking at forecasts and that and see if that would be achievable. Thank you. Bye.